Hi there, welcome to the Start a Business tutorial for the state of Texas. I'm just going to go through all the different functions we featured on this main page, and I urge you to click on a few of the links, especially the ones that pertain to your entity type, to get a little bit more information. This is just sort of a general overview of the various filings and functions on the that we've covered here. At any rate, if you are filing for a business entity, you will need to, if you're doing so online anyway, you'll need to create an account with the SOS Direct online portal. The account registration process is really straightforward. You can find it by clicking on this link here, and it will bring you to the page. And yeah, you can scroll through it and figure out how to go about applying, but it's pretty straightforward. And then once you have it, you can use the online filing system to do a number of things, one of which is actually searching for a name. This is a little bit unusual because in most Secretary of State, or at least on most Secretary of State websites, the business entity search function is free and you don't need an online account. Unfortunately, in Texas, it's not the case. It costs $1 every time you want to use it, and you're going to need to log into your account to do so. The main reason why you'd search for a name is to see whether the name that you're filing with is available for use, if it hasn't been taken by another entity, or if you're just looking to get the business filing history or general details of a particular entity on file with the Secretary of State. How does one file in Texas? So the first thing you're going to want to do, at least that we recommend you doing, although it's not mandatory, is performing the business entity search or the name availability search for all the reasons I've just explained. You can also reserve your name before you file. This will give you 120 days in which to file, and you don't have to worry about another entity coming in and registering with your name. It's going to cost you $40 if you decide to do that. With a name ready, you're going to be able to go ahead and file your business. So this can be online. As I said, you're going to need to get an online account if you're going to do it online, or you can just download the PDF, fill it out, and send it to the Secretary of State. And if you click on any of these links here, you'll get a more detailed look at exactly what it takes to file, say, a domestic nonprofit corporation. And we've got step-by-step instructions with images of each step on the Secretary of State website, and you also get the PDF of the filing form. So step 3 is assuming that you finished the form. Now you need to submit it to the Secretary of State. If you're doing this online, you will have already given your credit card information or your payment details when you first logged in. So all you have to do is click Submit Filing at the very last step of the filing process, and then you'll just send that to the Secretary of State electronically. If you're not filing online, you're going to need to print off the finished PDF, sign it, and then make a copy. Then attach to those 2 copies the filing fee in the form of a check or a money order, or you can pay by credit card by downloading this document here, and you fill it out accordingly. So we have whether you want to be expedited or not, regular handling, give a little bit of information on the filing itself, and then you can give the payment information. Once you've done that, you can, and if you have all your forms and fees collected, you can send it through the mail to this address here, or you can hand deliver it to the James Earl Rudder office building. Alternatively, you can also fax it to this number here, and if you plan on faxing it, you're going to need to use the credit card payment option. And this is a list of all the filing fees. It's fairly standard. It's a little bit more expensive than most places, especially the foreign limited liability companies and corporation. It costs a little bit more than most places, but besides that, it's not too bad. We already talked about a name reservation, but if you click here, you're going to get our tutorial on how to go about doing that online and otherwise. Certificate of fact. This is a little bit different in this state. Normally, when we talk about getting certificates for the Secretary of State, it's usually certificate of good standing or certificate of existence. This document, a certificate of fact, can be used for a number of things, and if you're planning on using it to reflect your status with the Secretary of State. Say if you want to file in another foreign jurisdiction, or if you want to file or apply for financing, say, they're going to ask for this kind of document. There is such thing as a certificate of good standing in Texas, but that's a reflection of your franchise tax account and not your relationship with the Secretary of State. So at any rate, click on this link here. It'll explain that a little bit more. It'll give you a step-by-step filing process, and it'll just show you how to go about getting one of those. And if you do, it costs $15 if you need a certificate of fact. Agreements. Now, this is, again, I shouldn't say again, but in most states, it's not required that you draft an agreement that'll dictate. Essentially, what it does is it relays all the rules and regulations and all other provisions relating to the internal affairs of the company, and it's not required that one be drafted. Is what I'm trying to say. It's but it is recommended that you go about doing so, because it's a very useful organizational tool, and most authorities would at least recommend that you have one. In some cases, you can use it as proof of legitimacy as well. So if you click on each one of these, obviously this is for corporations, LLCs, and this one's for partnerships. You're going to get a free template in both MS Word and Adobe PDF, which can be used whenever you like. And finally, an employer identification number. You may have heard of this before. It's really just necessary for new domestic entities, because foreign entities will, of course, already have an employer identification number. It's issued by the IRS. It's just it's pretty much like a social security number for business entities, and you're going to need it before you can register for credit cards, hire employees, do anything like that. So click on this link here to get a tutorial on how to apply for this number. Or you can just click here to get access to the IRS website, or click here to get access to the form SS4, I believe it's called, which is the PDF form that you use to apply for an EIN. All right, guys, I hope that was helpful. Good luck.